Hey friends, in this video we will try to understand how to import a project into Eclipse IDE. Apart from that, we will also try to understand how to export a project in Eclipse IDE. For doing so, here I have the sample folder where I have two examples. First example is a project where we already have the jar files in the project, whereas there is a yet another project where the project does not have the jar file already there. So we will also check both of these situation, that how we need to handle these situation while importing the project file into our Eclipse IDE. So let's open up the Eclipse IDE real quick, and this will take a couple of seconds to open up. Now friends, the overall interface of Eclipse might change time to time, but overall process of importing and exporting a project file would be similar or same. So in here there are two ways of doing so. First of all, I can directly right click on the project explorer and import a project file by selecting this import option. And once I select the import option, it will give us this interface. And inside this interface we will have this general option, and inside this general option we have this project file project from folder or archive option. So using this I can import a project file. Alternatively, I can also click on this file system option, even that will work for us. Finally, we can also use archive file. So directly zip archive file could be imported into our Eclipse IDE again. Now apart from that, there is yet another option, which is this existing projects from Workspace. Now for example, you might close a project and delete the project from the project explorer, so you can use this option in order to open the existing projects which are there in your Workspace. So there are plenty of options out there. Apart from that, alternatively, you can also navigate to file and click on this option, open projects from file system. So if we click on this option, then it will open this interface. We can click on directory, and in here we can browse for the folder where we have the project file. For example, in here we will open this particular folder, which is example1 with jars, and we will click on OK, and we will click on finish. So one new project would be added into our Eclipse IDE, and we can easily check out the option in our project explorer. This is taking some time. I guess some background processing is going on and my system is not responding that good. Alright, so now we have added this project into our project explorer, which is fantastic, and now we can directly execute this on our Eclipse IDE. So I will right click to one of the file which is there. By the way, this is a very simple project which I have already created. So I will right click on this file and we will run the file on the web server. Apart from that, the web server is already added in my Eclipse. Alright, so our Tomcat 9 has been started and we can see that our application is up and running. And this is a super simple application where I can type in my name and click on submit, and this will show me my name. So this is super simple. Alright, so in this case, the jar file which is required for this project is already there in here. So let me minimize this. Let me also close this, and let me delete this from the project explorer. Alright, so this was first example. Apart from that, let me also show you how to add in the server real quick. Alright, so now we will navigate to window and then we will click on preference. By the way, I have already removed the web servers in order to give you a better understanding, and this video will also go on our YouTube channel. So this is the reason why we are showing this particular thing twice in this course. Please bear with me. Alright, so in here inside the server, we have this runtime environment option, and we can click on add, and we can add on instance of our web server. In our case, the web server would be Apache Tomcat 9. So we will click on this option and we will click on next. And here is the installation directory which is taken by our Eclipse. We can also click on browse and locate the appropriate location of our Tomcat installation. and finally we will click on finish. Alright, so this looks good to me. Alright, so now in order to link the server which we have just now added, we will navigate to the servers tab. We will click on this link and we will simply click on finish. Alright, so now our Tomcat 9 has been integrated with our Eclipse, which is perfect. Alright, so moving forward, we will right click. This time way around, we will choose a alternative way of importing project, and we will navigate to import, and we will select this option of project file from folder or archive. We will click on directory and we will navigate to our sample folder, and we will select this option example to no jars. Alright, so this looks good to me. Amazing. So this is really good, and if I try to execute this on web server, I'm pretty sure that there would be a crash because the jar file is not present. And let me click on submit, and there should be a crash. Here we go. So now there is a crash, and the reason is pretty simple. If we traverse and if we check, then there is no library inside this lib folder, and the jar file which is required is the JSTL jar. So we will simply copy this JSTL jar which is inside this sample folder again, and we will simply copy and paste it inside Eclipse. Alright, so this is cool, and we will also configure the build path real quick. So we will navigate to build path and configure the build path, and by default it would be configured because the lib folder is in the library. In case if the jar files are not listed in here, then you can add the jars which you need to integrate into your project. So that is again one more thing. So click on apply and OK, and now even if I refresh, it should work, or I might need to restart the web server once. Alright, so this isn't working properly. Alright, so now it worked properly. Now apart from that, how to export these files? So this is something which is good. So we need to simply highlight the project which we need to export, then we will export, and we will export not as a WAR file, because if we export as a WAR file, then the class files won't be exported as a text file. They would be as a class file, and those would be encrypted file, and we won't be able to view them properly. So that is something else. So simply click on export and then click on this export option, and then select this file system option under general tab, or general tree in fact, and we will then click on next, and we will give the path as a desktop, right? Alright, so this looks good to me, and we will click on finish. So on our desktop, let me close this. On our desktop, we would be able to see a new folder by the name of example2 no jars. So in here we would be able to see all the files and the jar file, and the best part is that if there are some classes inside this project file, even those would be easily viewable if we follow the steps. So this is all about today's lecture, and this lecture is created to help students worldwide, and this would be also posted on YouTube by us. Thanks for watching and take care.